Now I actually want to know.
I have no clue. Like,
Hmm.
I'll be frank, I'm technically not a native English speaker. I don't speak American, you know. I'm
But you do. Don't you speak
well,
American English though? Like, isn't that what you learn?
yeah, but it's the Philippine English is very weird. Like, we take some British terminology and we take some American terminology for some words which have, different meanings in different contexts. And then sometimes the Filipino diction just dictates that a word means something entirely differently locally, which I wouldn't be able to point it out to you because, it's what I'm raised in, but
Well,
it's there.
pause is still going on, John. Thank you for that, by the way. Still waiting on this pause. No idea what's
It
going
looks,
on, but I'm assuming a tech issue's happened.
yeah, it looks like Ramsey's disconnected first, and we got a pause from Arteezy. Then
Right.
Leo Style disconnected and reconnected in that time span. So we're just waiting on Ramsey's.
Well, I suppose I should ask, because, we are looking at a draft right now. The Naga Siren, does it incite confidence in you?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I mean, it's just one of those heroes that we constantly see in what we cast. And granted, that is a very different region that plays that hero a lot.
Hmm.
And this is a different set of players playing it. I believe, again, Arteezy's going to be on that hero. It's something he has played quite a fair bit. I just don't like the pace that Nagasarn brings.
Right.
You can play it fast by rushing the Diffusal Manta and then playing aggressive, but that happens very rarely. What we tend to see is Diffusal Manta wait for the heart, or Diffusal then wait for the heart. It's wait to tank up, turtle into the later part of the game, and that's when you come online, and that's when you become a menace. The issue is Thunder Predator's lineup comes online in a snap. Even a Morphling, right? Like, sure, the Morphling needs that shotgun to burst people down, but we have seen Morphlings tend to not get slowed down too much as long as you don't really lose out in the lane. The Morphlings will still find that farm, even if they kind of lose the lane, as long as they have enough space, as long as your team is playing aggressively to buy that space. And Thunder Predator does play that way. There should be enough time for MNZ to get that gold, to get the E-Blade, and once that's up and running, he's just going to be a menace.
Is that is that like a ball the Oracle's holding or something? Is that a
Uh,
cosmetic or is it just because the frame's frozen?
I reckon the particle effects froze up. I think that's the water, the watery looking ball, right? Like
Right.
that one of the first cosmetics for Oracle. The particle effects are mid animation, so it just looks kind of messed up. It looks like a beach ball, like
It
an
does.
Egyptian. It looks like an old Egyptian mummy going to the beach. That
That
sounds
it
like a
does.
delightful family film.
I
Wouldn't
suppose it
wouldn't you
does.
reckon?
I
Like
suppose so.
it sounds like Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. That was a lovely family film.
It
I don't
was.
think it was an amazing film,
We're
but
really starting to show our age here, John. It's that was a long time ago.
what
That
was that a
movie.
long time ago?
It was a very long
It
time
felt
ago,
like
wasn't it?
yesterday.
I believe wasn't it like over 10 years ago now that movie?
Yeah, if I recall right, that's around what 2006.
Jesus,
Oh
where did the time
gosh.
go?
Well, to be fair, there was apparently a Haunted Mansion film in 2015. Apparently, it's a Filipino film. There
Oh
was a
no.
Filipino film called Haunted Mansion in 2015, but no, the Disney Haunted Mansion was in 2003. So yeah,
Okay.
that's it's a long time back,
Ah
almost
well.
10 years. No, more than 10 years. Huh? Can't even do maths right.
No, no, you can't, John. In case anyone's just joined the stream, we're currently paused, so please don't panic. It's not that something's gone wrong. It's just we're just paused. Something clearly has gone wrong though. Not with us.
You know, I want to point out, Void Spirit is. Have you ever seen Void Spirit and just thought that's like, wow, he kind of looks like Doctor Strange, but it's Thanos. You know,
It kind of does, right? Like he
and
has
he's
the same
purple.
similar theme.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got he can portal,
Mm.
and he's not quite Doctor Strange because he's purple. You could just explain that off and just say he's the same race as Thanos or something. That's pretty cool. Would that
Yeah.
make him the strongest lore character in Dota 2?
No.
If he was? No? Who would
No.
be? Who is still? Who is actually isn't it by lore Elder Titan, supposedly?
I don't know, because Slacks had a video about this. He makes those lawgasm videos that I kind of love watching. And wasn't it like I swear I think it was a video about who the strongest character is, but it could have been more so about like who controls the world around Dota. I can't remember exactly, but I swear it was something like Weaver or Enigma that was like known as the. I'm sure that's completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure Slacks did make a video about it.
Weaver. No, but I don't know. I remember reading the lore of Elder Titan. He was pretty close to the two entities that ended up on as the Ancients, right? Like, or something like that. I mean, even beyond lore, I wouldn't mess with a guy with a stapler that big. You know, I watched what's that film? Office Space. I watched Office Space. I know what happens when you mess with a guy's stapler. You
Can't
don't
do
mess
that.
with a guy's stapler.
Absolutely not.
You know, I want to point out something, Mike. I'm checking log. In this time span,
Mhm.
since Leo style disconnecting and reconnecting, we have now lost Matthew as well.
Oh,
So
well, that's not good.
Ramses is yet to reconnect. Matthew has disconnected as well. So those are the two people we're waiting for. We're not waiting for Godot, but sure is taking as long as that play.
Yeah. Whoa, bit of electricity flying out.
Was that the Nagasine particle effects
I
going on?
believe it was. I believe it was.
And so RTZ just finally picked his hero.
Yeah. In case it wasn't obvious. I mean, he could have been playing the Prophet. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, they could. Nothing would stop them.
Oh, there's Ramses. All right, so every player now has their character, their hero. And oh, we're back. All right, we're unpaused. Thank God for that, John. I didn't know how much more we could talk about in this pause time. So it got pretty grim with the talking points, I feel. Don't even staplers is how we ended it.
It's Elder Titan, dude. Like we were talking about lore, and just pointed out, you know, even outside of lore, you don't mess with a guy with stapler that big. You just don't. No, he means business. Look at that ball, Mike. The Oracle ball.
No, we've seen what it really looks like, John. I can't look at it ever. I can't look at it the same way. Why is the Nagasaren on fire?
Is that? Huh? I've never seen that. I don't think that doesn't make sense to me. But you know, if it looks cool, then I guess it is cool. It is pretty cool. I just figured, you know, Naga Siren, she's a bit more aquatic, but you know, you break stereotypes, Mike.
Yes, you do. And we will get into it. So, Evil Geniuses versing Thunder Predator, game number 1 of this best of 2 series. Again, both teams did end up in a draw in both their series today so far. And we'll see if either one can really break out of that kind of that draw streak that we've been seeing today, or whether it will be another draw occurring.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how this one plays off. I think, again, both teams have been capable of performing on that high level. Both teams have been able to show us, like, pretty much stomps, right? Like, every single time on these series, it looks like one team gets a stomp, the other team gets a stomp, and it looks like there are questions about packets.
These damn packets. Always going here and there. Always ruining games. Looks like they're gonna keep going. They don't mind. Arteezy telling them he doesn't care.
Who wants cookies? Well, too bad.
Leo Style and Arteezy just trying to figure out who cares about packets or whatever they're talking about.
Try a bit harder next time.
I play with 150 MS. Yeah, we know. I know the feeling, John. I'm from Australia, and the first solid 6 months to a year we had to do that in Australia, playing the Southeast Asian servers.
Well, the sad thing is Southeast Asians playing that ping anyway. It's like that's just how our connection is as well.
the game will get started. Of course, Banneroon's about to spawn. Fly, gonna be surrounded already. Fortune's End will root him in place for quite a while, and Matthew will have a very easy Remnant setup into the stun setup of Frank. A few uphill misses, but that won't matter. They do end up getting the first blood, and the Predator gonna love that little start.
Yeah, it's something you can expect from Thunder Predator, I suppose. They like playing aggressive on that Radiant side as runes spawn up, and they tend to find themselves that first blood, so do give themselves a bit of a lead there. It does look like Thunder Predator is going for a bit of a lane swap as well. Matthew is sitting in the top lane, but M&Z is still here as well.
They're gonna keep going. Matthew, let's make the chase. Remnant gonna connect. Crit, just gonna keep running away. And, well, with that Orb of Venom, they could keep this chase up. They needed one more right click. It won't come out. Nice little juke out there from Crit. We never really talked about the fact, though, that it is going to be a pos for Void Spirit.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising, but I suppose it's something that you can make work. He is highly mobile just naturally. You will need to invest in some EXP for this guy to get big, but they are making it work quite well just from the laning phase.
Remnant again, just going to connect thanks to MJZ with the setup. The Crit will punish them a little bit with the Swashbuckle. And they really aren't going to give up this tri-lane, huh? I was almost certain that Matthew would rotate eventually, but it looks like they are just going to keep this up.
I think it's down to just how cheap you can throw those remnants out and how fast Matthew is, so you can just keep applying this pressure.
Another Remnant, but the tree will block it. Now they look to punish Matthew, chasing him down. Crit should have the damage output and does get it. Nice pickup for EG. And MNZ tried to help out on the Morphling, but with that low of a HP pool, you can't really risk too much this early on. He will back off.
Yeah, that's a nice pickoff from EG this time around. We'll see whether or not Matthew will rotate back there. It does look like he TP's down mid, just to have some hand in there.
Yeah, he finds Fly. Fly will actually take an Invis rune and run up top, so now EG running a tri-lane in the off lane. And Matthew doesn't want any part of it. He will show up mid for a bit. Looks like he's trying to find an angle to connect a Remnant to Arbed on the Ember. Leo style should have the follow-up damage with the Spirit Siphon anyway. In fact, he commits it now with the Crypt Swarm. Arbed just going to run off. It's a really rough lane for this Ember Spirit though. Like, he's got no regen left. He has no runes to bottle. And he's just kind of stuck here.
Yeah, it's one of the tough things about laning against a DP, right? That sustain, that damage coming out from DP can be hard to face up against, and Ember Spirits aren't particularly tanky. You will have to play around your Flame Guard there, and that is something that DP can just burn through.
That's not very hard for a DP, that's for sure. So Matthew looks like he is set on staying down bot. Arteezy won't really mind this too much. Like, the Naga Siren, it's very hard to get in range to actually harass her out of the lane. So she'll be probably perfectly fine with this. And Matthew, understanding this, starts rotating back towards that mid lane, where they may try and get another Remnant onto Arbed. Leo style, though, is pretty much has every skill on cooldown right now. The Spirit Siphon, the important one, is the one they're going to require if they do wish to kill off Arbed. And it looks like Matthew will actually just let go of that. He was running back down bot, but again, we run to the mid lane.
Does look like he's just going to be keeping an eye on these runes for his mid laner. So, just going to spend some time there.
You gotta love that though, right? Like, because this Ember, he's so reliant on bottling up some kind of rune, but they're just not allowing him to take any. Now Matthew, gonna show himself. He's only level 2 as the Void Spirit, but just wants to show that he could be anywhere at any time. Thing is though, you are giving completely free space over to Arteezy on this Naga Siren, who's essentially going to be able to force Frank out of the lane, right? Like, with Mirror Images and Riptide, there's no way Frank actually sustains himself in this lane.
At the very least, he's not keeping up in farm too well, and he's not slowing that Naga down at all. Arteezy's having a very good time in terms of last hits, 22-4, compared to the Slorador's 16-2. So he should be able to get himself up and running fairly quickly.
They are forcing Fly to run around the map constantly. Poor Fly ran up to the top lane, ran to mid, now goes back down to bot.
Amazing what you find.
Does get a bounty rune for his trouble at least. It's MJZ now. Fortune's End, not really going to affect Crit too much. He'll just continue to chase this Oracle down. And that should be almost a guaranteed kill, though. He will try to go for the deny with the neutrals. Won't be so lucky. Those neutrals really don't hit hard enough.
Classic mistake.
Very easy kill for Crit on the Pangolier.
Yeah, so far, EG having a decent enough time in this laning phase, despite losing that first blood early on. They are finding the farm in these side lanes, at very least, so they're still managing to get ahead there. Matthew?
Yeah, catches Fly, but it looks like Leo style just not feeling safe with the amount of HP he has right now. Matthew, he's kind of just been left alone. Leo, he'll come back in. He has one Spirit Siphon available, and he does commit it, but it's immediately cancelled off. And he will end up falling, as Crit will be the one to pick up the kill on the Pangolier. While that was happening, Ramses ends up losing his life to MNZ on the Morphling.
Yeah, just a bit of back and forth from both teams. I think you're not going to be too happy if you're Thunder Predator right now. I don't think you wanted to lose your DP that way. A lot of time wasted down mid as well. It's a bit of a shame, and Matthew does fall in the end as well.
Fly will be the one to pick up the kill on the Snapfire. Looks like they just kind of posture around Leo style as he TPs in, but Fortune's End. The purge off the Flame Guard from Abed. Crit, though, still moving forward, and now they have Ramses, but Ramses kind of just sprouted himself. Doesn't really matter. They'll find MJZ. And Leo style, he just TP'd back. He just respawned. He doesn't want to die like this, but it looks like he will not have a choice in the matter. So Abed will get a double kill. And that is going to put this Death Prophet very, very far behind. In fact, MNZ is here now. They'll just chase him down. He has Waveform available. He's copying a fair bit of damage, though. He does use it, but it's not going to help him as they are continuing to chase. Matthew Remnant will stop them from chasing him down. Matthew just going to try and escape now. But I'm quite shocked that you even bother rotating MNZ down. Like, you think he would have just taken the free lane up top.
Yeah, that's really surprising from Thunder Predator. It does cost them quite a fair bit. They've lost a lot of ground, at least in terms of kills. 6-2 now at 7.5 minutes in. 2k advantage for EG, and while all these rotations were happening, RTZ down bot, he's just free farming. You're at the point where your slaughter is really just not going to have an impact against this Naga Siren. And this is as free of a lane as we've seen Naga Sirens get. So it's been a good start for RTZ. He should be able to get online right in time, and MNZ up top gets jumped
He'll be
on.
okay. Just strength morph. Fly doesn't have Cookie to throw out, but Abed now, he's going to rotate in on the Ember. You don't really have chains, but you definitely have a lot of damage as the Remnant now forward onto MNZ. They'll settle for MJZ instead. In fact, never mind Crit. He loses his life immediately to the Adaptive Strike and the Purifying Flames of this Oracle. As Abed is going to continue chasing down. He does get a Sleight of Fist off. Still MJZ, delaying things quite a bit. Remnant onto the Morphling. Abed won't commit it yet. False promise. They will eventually get the Oracle. And it looks like Fly does get Matthew on the Void Spirit as well. So Evil Geniuses. I mean, it took a while, but they end up getting what they wanted, and now they'll just chill out in the lane for a bit.
Yeah, that's a long time. It took a while to find those kills. I'm sure they would have been much more happy if they could get MNZ, but they do find a couple of kills for their efforts. And again, the lane situation for EG is going just fine. Free farm for RTZ down bot. The mid lane is certainly better for Abed than is for RDP, although MNZ.
Yeah, getting caught out. Strength morphing as best he can. He waveforms forward as well, but they will not stop this chase. Remnants forward from Abed. He still doesn't have any levels in chains, though. So they don't really have a way of locking him down, but they are at least forcing him to not be able to farm. Leo style being forced to rotate on the Death Prophet. But Abed is already out. Crit, probably not going to be so lucky, but he does have Swashbuckle. Still, Fortune's End will hold him in place for now. And Crit looks like he may actually just walk out, and yeah, he does. It's a 3k net worth lead for EG. Thunder Predator, I mean, with this draft, they just don't seem to be able to lock anyone down long enough.
Definitely, It's rough for Thunder Predator right now. They're trying to commit for these kills. These rotations are not paying off. You see Leostyle and MJZ trying to find something now. They go for the outpost first. I don't think he can rotate onto a Naga Siren at level 9. Like, they still have an unspent point.
Gonna be able to get away in the tree line, it looks like. He'll be fine. Bot lane, they're trying to take care of these mirror images from Arteezy, but the real hero, he's just farming perfectly safely in his own jungle. And he's getting closer and closer to picking up that Yasha now. I mean, Thunder Predator, John, they've lost the mid lane, they've definitely lost the top lane as well, right? Like, this Morphling, although he is second in net worth, is somewhat falling behind now. Looks like Thunder Predator just kind of forced to play catch-up.
Definitely feels that way. I don't think the Morphling's the biggest issue here. I think the biggest issue for Thunder Predator is their performance on
Leostyle.
No.
Almost just gets bursted by Arteezy. In fact, Ramses has the follow-up damage. Oh boy. That was just a lot of damage coming in onto that DP. Arteezy went through 3/4 of his HP in a second or two.
Yeah, this is not how Thunder Predator would want this lineup to work. They just popped the Exorcism there. They don't manage to win team fight. They don't manage to clear out any objectives as well. Rather rough time, especially since they are riding off the back of that ultimate to give them that mid-game advantage you're looking for. And if they don't manage to get that power spike out, it's going to be rough for them trying to play catch-up.
Well, you've got the Yasha up now on Arteezy. He's going to be farming a little bit faster, going into that Manta next. Pretty standard stuff for a Naga Siren. Of course, you look over to MNZ, he did pick up the Morbid Mask. He is probably going to be forced to jungle quite a bit this game anyway. And it looks like he's going to go into a Mantra as well, or rather he's going to start with the Yasha first. So no Ethereal Blade Rush for this Morphling. I would argue that's probably the right decision, considering he just doesn't feel like he's going to have enough free space and time to get that Ethereal up. But it's going to mean he's going to try and force this into a late game kind of Morphling, which, I mean, up against the Naga Siren can be a little bit rough.
Certainly is. It's not the cleanest matchup in the world. The Morphling has issues trying to clear out those illusions as well. So we'll see whether or not that will hold up if the game reaches that point. Otherwise, EG, again, they've got a 5k lead now at 12.5 minutes in. 9-4 in terms of the kill board.
Yeah, Matthew found himself a nice easy kill onto Fly. Body blocks coming out from the illusions of Abed. In fact, doing a great job of it as well. Ramses, he's going to be able to get a little bit closer. Pops the drums, doesn't get the sprout. That'll be enough. Matthew walks out, and we do have another pause.
Oh, this is unfortunate.
It is.
MJZ is being rooted up by Arteezy. So that's a snapshot of disaster. Look at
there
that
we go.
mid-flight.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. We'll just see if we can get a... Yeah, that is rather unfortunate, that net just mid-air. It's moments before disaster, as you said. Or maybe it isn't. There is certainly some kind of outplay potential I'm sure MJZ could perform. And there it is.
Outplayed.
Definitely. It's EG now looking to set up on the bot lane. Crit running forward. He does have Rolling Thunder and he does commit it. They really want this off lane. Slaughter kill. Frank will actually get a nice juke off to start and actually run straight past them. Swashbuckle will not be enough. Frank!
Oh, man.
Just sidestepping his way to victory.
Yeah, and that does buy them enough time to rotate a few more heroes in. Are they going to commit for this fight? No. Just looks like they wanted to bring enough bodies to protect that tower. They are dragging the Morphling down, though.
We saw this before. With the Exorcism up, it looks like they really just want to either start a team fight or force a tier 1 down. Fly, going to be a very easy pick off if they're allowed to have him alone, but Arteezy now with the ensnare onto Matthew, he will barely get away with his life intact. And Fly will also walk away with his own life intact. But we can't say the same for this tier 1 bot tower. Exorcism is going to be there from Leo style now. And EG, I doubt they even bothered trying to defend this. It's the least valuable tower on the map, pretty much.
Yeah, they've got good vision in their jungle right now anyway, so EG's not going to be losing out on too much. At the very least, they do have information as to where Thunder Predator would be, and they just get themselves some free time to farm up. Like, Abed's just going right down mid, no contestation. Everyone else is just kind of clumped up around the Roche pit, and that is going to be going down quite fast. Without that Exorcism around for the next fight, EG's not under any major threat.
Oh. Yeah, I guess not. Roshan is the play. With those mirror images, the Riptide spam, it's just so darn quick. Poor Roshan. Gonna go down at 15 minutes into this game, number 1. Give the Aegis over to Abed on the Ember. Thunder Predator, I mean, things just got a hell of a lot worse, because now you've got EG that are going to be feeling more than confident to just keep running up towards you and just taking fights over and over again. In fact, speaking of, Arteezy, by himself, going to go after Matthew. Remnant doesn't latch onto the real Naga Siren. He doesn't even want the kill. He just wants the creeps. He wants to force Matthew out of the lane and just get back his bot lane. Abed, smoke does get broken. MJZ will get caught out. Crit will take it on the Pango. In fact, they may have found more. Remnants forward. They really want MNZ on the Morphling. There's the chains latching. And MNZ, he just uses waveform. Rolling Thunder's probably going to be able to lock him in place the whole time. Ramses will be the one to pick up that kill.
Yeah, again, smooth flowing here for EG, just finding all these big kills, slowing down the progress of that Morphling, although Abed.
Could be in trouble. We'll be able to remnant it out in time. Silence just did not last long enough. Let's get a nice little chains off onto Frank on the way out. And Frank, gonna keep going. He wants Fly on the Snapfire. Fly, false, or rather Fortune's End does land. Fly eventually does go down to the Crypt Swarm. Abed, very low HP, but with the Aegis, he feels confident enough to keep moving forward. Gets the chains off. Swashbuckle, though, will not connect from Crit, and now Frank, he comes back in onto the Pangolier. Silence is there. They get another. EG maybe have to be a little bit careful about going for kills like that, because, you know, a couple kills being given the way of Thunder Predator, and suddenly they could be back into this game.
We have seen Thunder Predator kind of play like that as well, right? Like, sometimes they're behind, they get a couple of kills, they start snowballing from there. If they play around this timing of the Exorcism once again, quite properly, perhaps taking that mid tower with it and taking a fight as well, that could give them enough control to counteract this early bleeding that they've had. Still, they have to always be concerned about RTZ's Naga. Still free farming in that top lane. They look to be wanting to play aggressively now against Frank.
Yeah, Frank snared up. Rolling Thunder wants to get from Crit, just going to lock him down, and in case anybody else is coming, Crit has already cleared out the tree line. They see MJZ. They won't even bother trying. They'll just take the tier 2 tower, and, well, Matthew could be in a little bit of trouble, but he will Astral Step away in time, and Leo Style had the silence out onto Abed. But EG, they're finding everything they want on this map. There is absolutely zero urgency in their play right now, because they don't need to. They just, it's either Thunder Predator reacts to them, or they just keep pushing down towers.
Yeah, it's Thunder Predator is just not ready to deal with EG at this moment. They don't have the farm on their Morphling. They do manage to finally finish up that Manta style. I don't think that's going to be enough to mitigate this.
Yeah, look at a Remnant off onto Crit. And then Z now going to start rushing forward as the Morphling. Tries to go for the adaptive, but doesn't really get the kill. That was a quick pipe there from Ramses to nullify a lot of that magic damage. And they find nothing. EG walk away scot-free.
Yeah, Thunder Predator just not able to punish too well here. They might get punched themselves.
They could. Clumsy net on Crit. Won't really lock him in place. And now Arteezy jumps in. He has Song available if he needs to, but he doesn't really as Matthew ends up going down. This team fight looking really bad for Thunder. As well, they're only really left with the DP, and Leo Style does go down to Ramses, and MNZ still trying to run away. Crit won't leave the man alone, and Abed, he'll remnant forward as well. He does have chains available in just a second, and there it is coming out. Does this Morphling survive? Maybe. With the strength morphing, it looks like he may have enough time and HP to get out of this, though no. Crit's diving the tier 3, giving vision over to Abed. They will claim the full team wipe. And it's just absolute domination from this Radiant side at the moment.
Definitely. They do manage to get a split push going with Ramses as well, doing a lot of damage to that top tier 3. And Thunder, without that exorcism, they can't really fight into this too well.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Leo Style going to TP back into the mid lane and goes for a silence. Abed doesn't really have much mana, so he may not feel like he can take this team fight. That Aegis is going to expire fairly soon as well, so he will have to be a little bit careful about that. But now Arteezy, he just runs in thanks to a cookie off fly. Won't risk too much, he does want to back off now, but he'll just commit the song. EG, are we going back in? No. Fly throws a scatter blast, in fact he does go for the cookie. Silence going to be there. Meanwhile, MJZ getting taken down in the back to Arteezy on the Naga. Abed, he will get chained up by MNZ. They could burst him down, though he should have a remnant available and does. Now the Rolling Thunder again from Crit, just controlling everybody. MNZ, he's in a very, very tough position right now. Arteezy is surrounding with the mirror images. He will waveform forward, but can he get out of this? It looks like he may be able to walk out this time, but you're losing so much, and the GG War play has been called anyway.
Yeah, that was a quick first match. Really good showing from EG this time around. Thunder Predator, it felt like they weren't playing the way they usually do, right? Like at their best, they're an aggressive team. They play fast. They went with a draft that took a lot longer to come online, and EG just managing to make that work for themselves. Rather unfortunate for Thunder, but good showing for EG. We'll see whether or not Thunder Predator does change it up for game number 2 coming up next.
Well, they'll definitely have to do something, John, but we will be back very, very soon. It is MLP Dota and John X Fire. Hopefully won't be too long for that second game. We'll be back.